Breaking Bad can be pretty out there at times. Part of what makes the show great is how it wins the audience over through the spectacle of the macho energy and violent crimes on display. Because of these absurd and grandiose set pieces, it can be pretty easy to forget that Walter White is just some dude. And that's why I love the matches in the pool scene from the pilot so much, because it is so grounded. The show goes to great lengths to humble Walter, especially near the end of the series, but this down-to-earth moment in the pilot serves as a different kind of gut punch. We see his passion in those matches. This moment with Walter is what makes him human to me, because something about it is so uniquely him. Walter White is constantly reminded of his wasted potential. Reminders of his grand achievements hang on the walls of his humble house. His love for science is lost on students who couldn't give less of a shit. He has to work 2 jobs just to make ends meet. He has a loving family, but everything else around him is so uncaring of his potential. And so, getting diagnosed with cancer feels like one last jab at him by the universe. The life he's lived is so unfulfilled. What can he do with so little time? He retreats to these matches because chemistry is all he has. All of those processes work to create one little beautiful light, if only for just a moment. In a lot of ways, the matches are much like Walter, bright and filled with beautiful potential. But that flame is quickly snuffed out and thrown away into a dirty pool. It feels like Dave Porter's beautiful soundtrack here is desperately trying to make something more out of these matches. But maybe these matches aren't really meant to be some microcosm of Walter's life. Sometimes there is no greater meaning. Sometimes things are just as they are. Walter wasn't given cancer as some divine punishment. It just happened. Maybe lighting the matches is simply just a mundane thing to pass the time. Sometimes the little things are all we have to help us cope. I think this moment can be both symbolic of Walter's life and also just a display of the way that Walter attempts to cope. Each way of looking at this scene is rooted in the same somberness. It's worth noting that this subdued scene is in the same episode that opens with a man in tidy whities pointing a gun at approaching sirens. The pilot is laying down the tonal foundation of the rest of the series, showing us that underneath all of the ego and absurd spectacle, there lies something profoundly tragic. A brilliant spark wasted in a dirty pool.